Hello, Matt here for Sonicstate, and today I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and do a patch from scratch using the brand new ALM Busy Circuits MCO module that's just recently come out. And we thought we'd have a go at using this as the main sound source in our patch that we're gonna build from scratch on the fly. And so no idea what this is gonna sound like, by the way. But to put a twist on things, we're going to do this actually in VCV Rack. It's got 7 different algorithms that allow you to do drum synthesis and like 90s analog synthesis, and it's got a vocoder in there, and it does lots of different things. So it's a pretty deep module for its size. And just like a number of their other modules, they've actually got this and they've put that into VCV Rack as well. So from my understanding, this is a near identical reproduction of the physical module that you can go out and buy now. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to have a play with some of the different algorithms and build up a track from scratch and see what we can make of this, and just delve into some of the parameters and some of the things that it can do. Okay, so here we are in VCV Rack. I've already got a few things just set up just to speed up the process a little bit. One of them being Pamela's Pro Workout, which I'm using as the main clock. So this is another one of ALM's modules that is ported into VCV here. I'm using the Shapemaster Pro, which I'm using as a sequencer basically, and for modulation. It's really cool. You've probably seen me use this in videos before. And I've got a mixer here, big mixer going into a smaller mixer, and then going to my sound card. The reason why I'm using 2 mixers you'll see in a bit. So yeah, let's get the sound sources in. Let's go here and let's go and get ourselves ALM, and let's choose the MCO. So you can see actually just before I select that, these are all the modules that ALM have ported into VCV. So Pamela's, you've got the effects, you've got the dual oscillator here, you've got the dual digital drum, you've got the VCA, and of course you've got the MCO Mark II. You've got the original in there as well. So here it is. Here's the MCO Mark II in, and yeah, let's get some sound out of it straight away. So I'm just going to plug this into my speakers. I'll just turn them down a little bit. Let's plug that straight into there. There we go, and turn up the volume. Brilliant. So we've got all these different voices we can choose from here. Digiwave, and let's zoom in a little bit. A BG8000. We've got vocoder, drums and stuff. I want to get a bass tone going on here, so yeah, I'm going to stick with this one to begin with, I think. Yeah, the BG8000. Why not? Let's start there. So this has also got its own built-in VCA, so we can trigger that with the trigger input here. I'm going to use Pamela's to clock everything for this. So let's send in trigger here from, yeah, some kind of 16th notes there going on. So if we go in to this module, so you basically click on this button here, it takes you in, and then you can scroll through all different parameters. So we can change the wave shape, we can change modulation depth, we can turn on the filter. Yes, it's got a filter in here. In fact, it's got multi-mode filter you can choose from. And then you've got the built-in VCA here that you can use, and different ways of triggering it, using trigger, using a gate. You can change the attack time, and we can also change the decay time. There we go. And if we come out of there, we can also, yeah, we've got actually presets we can load. I'll just leave it on this waveform for now. Change the octave. I want a bass, so I'll go there to begin with. Yeah, why not? As a starting point, I'll send it a volt per octave output from the Shapemaster here. So essentially what that'll do is send that out as pitch, which we don't want. I'm just going to leave that down here just so it just kicks out one note. In fact, I'll get a quantizer, and what I'll do is I'll go into the quantizer before I go in to the MCO. And this way I know it's just going to be playing the notes that I want. In this case, I'm just going to choose a C. Just nice and simple. So there we go, we've got that going. Now there is a filter in here, as I mentioned. So if we come out of that mode, and this can also play chords, by the way, we'll look at that in a second. Let's just change waveform. I'll stick with the super saw. I won't play around with the detune on this in a minute, or add any modulation. So I'll leave that alone. So let's turn on the filter. As I say, we've got low pass, high pass, band pass, and notch. And I believe that's in all of the models. So there's a lot of similarities depending on what, when I say model, I mean algorithm. So let's go for low pass. And then we've got the cutoff here. Oops, sometimes I forget to press on the button here. You can't see me doing that, I don't think, but you have to press it in order to change the value. So there you go, we can completely close that cutoff or open it. Or if we go a bit further than 0, we can then get to the CV inputs and use the modulation coming in from the CV inputs to modulate the cutoff. In fact, if we go even further after CV 1, 2 and 3, which are the physical inputs here, it's got a built-in envelope that you can actually use to modulate the filter, or one of 3 LFOs. And these LFOs, you will actually, if you come out of the voice and you go to the utilities, settings rather, here's the LFO rate for LFO 1, LFO 2 and LFO 3. So you can change them here in the kind of main system settings and then decide where they go. I want to use CV input 1, so I'm just going to scroll to that. CV in 1, good. And if I go to channel 2 here of Shapemaster, take the output of that and plug it into CV1, you can see now that that's opening and closing my filter for me. Cool, so I've got kind of baseline going on here. Nice. And maybe I'll just put in a couple more things here. Something like that. Yeah, just a bit of movement. That's good. We've got that going. Now I quite like what that's doing, but I might layer that up. I might duplicate that, and I'll take the same CV output, so the same notes. I'll take the same triggers, and I'm going to choose different voice this time. Let's go for tone sum. It's not one that I'm that familiar with. Let's just mute that for a second. Let's take the output of that, plug that into this input, and go into it. And yeah, let's have a look at some presets for this. Yeah, this has got some interesting ones, this algorithm: harmonics, ratios, faux pass, flip. I'm not really sure what those ones done. I'm not too familiar with this kind of voice. But we've got the same envelope parameters here, so we can make that a bit snappier if we want to. And yeah, maybe I'll try some different presets actually. Yeah, there we go. That one's nice. It's a bit lower, more low end. I want to add those together, you see. So I've got a driving kind of low end bass, and now I've got this one here. Let's open and close in filter. Maybe I'll slow that down. this one might be nice with some effects. So why don't we go to here and choose their MFX. So I'm gonna run this initial MCO into the effects. Take the effects out from there. And yeah, let's choose on a kind of stereo delay. So this MFX kind of works in the same way as the MCO in terms of how you navigate it. You've got one dial, essentially. You press it, you go in, you change whatever you need to do. Yeah, something like that. That's fine for now. Speed that up maybe again. Yeah, okay. Cool, let's get in a kick drum. So the MCO has got a mode which allows us to do kind of focus on kick drums and bass. So it's called bass synth or oomph. And yeah, let's make a kick out of this one. I'm going to need a trigger sequencer though, so let's just pull up. Any one will do. Sequence 3 will be fine. And I'm going to take the trigger output to trigger this, and I'll send that here. There we go. So we've got a kick drum going right away. Now I might take the clock from Pamela's here, just so it's synced, and take this as a reset. Let's have a listen to kick drum. So in the same way we can change the octave if we want to, but let's try some different presets. Well, that's nice. Very synthetic, electro. Future. Nice. 808. Very subby. 909. Driven. Nice and distorted. Yeah, I think I kind of like, what is that one earlier? Is it modern? Yeah, it's kind of nice. In fact, there's parameters you can play around with this. So if you want to play with a kind of envelope shape of it, you can. So we can actually add more click to it. In this case, because the click is kind of, it sounds to me like envelope modulation on the pitch, giving you that. So you can dial in how much you want of that. Thump. It's like the decay of that envelope on the pitch. And then, yeah, you've got sub, I think that's like the sub decay of it. It's even some FM, if you want to go there. So, oh, some distortion. Yeah, I'll leave it like that for now. That's fine. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set up some sidechain compression. So let's go in here, reset this, and let's get a compressor. And pop that in. I've got a preset that I tend to use for this, which I'll just use, called sidechain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the output of this mixer here, with the basses. I'm going to send that, whoops. I'm going to send that into the compressor first, then out the compressor there. And then what I need to do is send my kick drum to the second input and also into the sidechain. And it's just moving stuff out of the way a little bit for me. Yeah. Not sure on the kick in terms of the preset that I've chosen, so let's try a different one. Nah. I like that 808. Let's see if I can get a bit more click on it. Nice. Maybe I'll try a different octave. Where is it? There it is. No, I'll leave it like that. I think you'll appreciate that more on headphones and speakers. Maybe I'll try this at a different octave as well. There we go. And I'm just going to check. Yeah. This stereo delay, let's just have a little play with this. Maybe make the mix a little bit less. There we go, just want it just kind of filling out. All right, we've got something going. It's all coming from the MCOs as a sound source. So we've got two bass lines essentially and a kick drum. So let's get some chords. I mentioned earlier you can do chords with this. So let's go back here. Let's get the MCO. And yeah, let's try a different algorithm, one we haven't tried. Not the vocoder, although that might be interesting. This Vertana, this is like 90s analog kind of synth kind of voice, kind of vibe going on. And let's take the output of that. Output A, output B. I'm just going to solo that. Let's go into it. And if we go here to chords, what will happen is we send a note into this module and it will then create chords for us. So you don't send in multiple notes and it plays those exact notes back out at you. You essentially scroll through and it can play octaves, major. We'll just move it there so we can see it a bit better. There we go. Different versions. All that. Nice. I just want a minor. Yeah. Let's give that the same note. So I want to give it a C. So if I take that volt per octave. Not that. We want a quantizer, don't we? So it's playing a C. So let's go into the quantizer and then into the MCO there. And that way it'll just be playing. That's that's it, just playing over octaves as it moves. But that's okay. Because I want to go in now and have a little play with this a little bit more. See what we can do with these. So we could play with the waveforms, depending on how you want it to sound. Just leave it on ramp for wave A. You've got wave A and B, and you can kind of mix between them. I'll just leave it like that for now. There's a bit of drift. Add some movement to them. We could apply like the internal LFO to it if we wanted to. And if we go to long press on this, we can then attenuate how much it's affecting that. So I don't want it to go to 100% because it just gets a bit too wacky. So if I just leave it sort of about there. It's got a bit of subtle movement added to it now and then. Nice, okay. And we've got a filter we can use, and we've got an envelope as well. So let's just see what this sounds like. Okay, so let's close that filter. Leave it there for now and zoom in so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. And let's go to built-in VCA. And let's trigger that VCA from PAMS. Where's PAMS? It's right over here. And I'll maybe take this output, which is very slow. Make the attack quite long, like a second or so, maybe even longer, and the decay is a bit longer as well. So it kind of swells up and swells down. Nice. Now I think that would be lovely with some reverb, wouldn't it? So let's go to here and get the MFX out. So let's run that into the effects before it goes to the mixer. I'm going to use one of my presets that I really like. It's just a nice big reverb. I think I want to open and close that cut off a little bit. So let's use another channel from Shapemaster. Channel 4, run that into CV1. So on the MCO now, if I come out there and go to filter cutoff, set that to 0, go beyond 0, choose CV1 in. Yeah, I quite like the fact that that's fast. Because then it goes into the reverb. Nice. Wonder what this sounds like, different octaves. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. So let's do that then. So let's go to channel 3, where we've got this going. Let's slow this down a little bit. Oh, let's sync it. And don't want it to go over 10 octaves. Let's just go over 3 at the max. When it's slow. Maybe like that might be quite good. Something like that. So now it'll play different octaves. I'll go with 2 octaves instead. Now that will speed up once it gets to the end. Maybe while it's just doing that, maybe I'll add some extra notes in here on this MCO. So on channel 1, again, let's slow that down a little bit. And only make that like 2 octaves. Just something subtle like that. Let's take this down. So what it needs now, folks, is some hi-hats, isn't it? Let's get some of those in. Now I could probably make a hi-hat actually out of the MCO, thinking about it. Could probably find some kind of algorithm that offers me noise or something like that. That might be quite cool. But I will, for time's sake, I'm just going to take some 16ths from here and run that to here. Vibey. Now is there... Yeah, I was going to play with a filter in this mode on this one, but I don't know it enough. I'm just going to make that over 2 octaves instead. So there we go. Patch from scratch. And I suppose we could send in another CV input here and change the chords and modulate that if we wanted to. But I think I'll leave that just kind of hanging in there, just sustaining that. Let's slow that filter down. There we go. And maybe play around with some octave on here. Might be quite nice. Don't think you can modulate the octave. Doesn't seem to give you that option. But something that I like to do is play around with the octaves a lot. Doesn't seem to, but never mind. So there we go. We've got some sustained chords. We've got kick drum and a couple of bass lines going, all coming from the MCO, all from different algorithms, and also some generous use of their effects from the MFX, some delays and reverbs there. So there we go. I think this demonstrates, you know, how comprehensive this module is for its size. What is it, 6 HP? 7 different algorithms. You've got the built-in VCA and the filter. Pretty cool. You can get a lot out of this. The chords are really cool. I will just try and modulate some of those chords, just in case. It might not work. Let's try. Turn the filter up a bit. Oh, you've got inversions here as well. First, second, third inversions. That's nice. Might just back off. Cool. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If there's any particular patch from scratches you want us to do, any particular modules, module makers, styles of music, leave it in the comments below. If any one of you has got the MCO, let us know how you use it. What's your favorite algorithm? Great, thanks for joining us. And I'll play you out. Take care. Bye now.